Hey everyone, I'm Nidoking and welcome back to Gobliiins 4. Last time, we figured out that we need to track down the aardvark Riri, and we found the secret escape tunnel that he used to break out of the palace. So, now we've just got to traverse that tunnel and figure out where the other end is. This is a nice, confusing serpentine thing, but the exit is up in the upper right. We just need to make our way over there through all this stuff. It's important to notice that the only way down from the ledge we're on is this narrow vine, so only Stucco will be able to climb back up once we descend. But he's the only one who needs to do anything up there anyway. So we'll pick up the stuff that we can pick up. We got a nice big plank of wood, and a piece of a shovel buried in the wall. Alas, we can't get that out yet. We're going to need Stucco's help, and I don't want to have to worry about getting him back up. That flat stone is not something we can pick up. We can just stand on it. And it won't do us any good to do so yet. We can't get through the tunnel, so we're going to have to go up and over. And we can't reach those rungs. They're kinda useless. So we're gonna have to do some physics. We can punch the lodged stones out of the wall, which means we just need to have something for them to land on. For once, we're building our own seesaw instead of just using one ready-made. And there we go. Now we can read the sign. As Choop. See, I still can't tell whether he wants us to be able to follow him or not. But there's the key to the wardrobe. That spider's got it. We're gonna have to get it from the spider. Well, we just need to click a little more carefully. And it's way down in the abyss. Yeah, we're not just going to be able to jump down to it. Well, fortunately we've got somebody whose skill set probably includes being able to get down from very high places unharmed. So we'll just have Père Louis go up the same way. And this becomes one of those levels where the essence is being able to traverse different types of terrain by combining different characters' abilities. So Père Louis can get down. He can't pick up the key, but he can send it up to Choop. And we can get back down by just climbing down the rungs. Now we can finally get at what's in the wardrobe. Hey, a parachute! I don't know why someone put that in a closet at the bottom of a tunnel, but it's exactly what we need. At least to get down on the far right side. Granted, we went down there before to get the key. Now, there's other stuff. And it turns out he didn't even really need the parachute anyway. So, let's see what we have here. We've got the handle for the shovel. And that's really all we can pick up here. Now we've got an obvious escape tunnel. For whatever reason, Père Louis can't climb through the tunnel himself. That's only the way for Choop to get back up. And now, armed with a handle, we still can't do anything with that shovel. Time for Stucco to come down and do his work. And now we can fix the handle to the shovel. And we've got a digging tool. Now we can dig our way through the block tunnel. Or not. The problem is we gotta dig through from the other side, but now Stucco is trapped down here and Père Louis is trapped over on the far right side. This is a kinda tricky puzzle, but I have sort of ignored this round stone in the corner. It's not something we can pick up. We can just knock it into the spider, and the trick is we have to hit the spider again before it climbs back to the hole. It's more complicated than I think most of the puzzles have been so far, but good enough. Now we've got Père Louis back on this side, and we can use the flat stone to send characters back up the ramp. And from here, Stucco alone can climb back up to those stones, and we just have to get Choop into position on the plank before we punch the stone. There we go. Now we can go down the right side and clear the block tunnel. I have to commend his faith, even though it's obviously misplaced. But we're fine. We can dig our way through the tunnel here, and that's how Stucco will get over to the right side. Now we can get all three characters over to the side where the exit is, and also the gold tooth is completely out of sight inside the tunnel. Now, of course, we need to find a way to get up to those ladders on the right, and to do that, we need to clear the block tunnel up here. I'm sure Jerryman the Mole is some kind of pun in French. So let's show him why we're here. No, good. He knows Riri, but we need to know where Riri has gone. The Mole Station, of course. And having talked to him in such fashion, he gives us the tool that we need to progress. But I think we'll have to move Père Louis out of the way so we can actually pick it up. There we go. A seed. And whenever we have a seed, we need to plant it somewhere. And then we make it grow as if by magic. Which, it actually is magic. So we've got a route to the exit, and we've got the gold tooth. There's absolutely no reason not to go and leave the room. As long as all the characters are willing to take the plunge. It's the verb station. Or, as I discovered, ver is French for worm, so it's worm B. That's right. They're going to let us ride the worm. Only there's no worm here. We've got a lot to do at the station, as you might expect, and the first thing we got to do is pick up the tile that was covering the hole we came in through. And also, don't miss this slightly darker tile, nearly hidden behind the character portraits. That's the gold tooth. They get more and more annoying as we go. So let's ask the station manager what's up. Okay, we'll ring the bell. And he comes over to talk to us himself. Why, yes, I would love to take a worm. Where is it? Well, at least that explains why he keeps running back and forth, but how do I get a ticket? Where is this worm you want me to feed? Can we just pay for the ticket? Yeah, our money's no good here. So let's at least see if this guy can tell us where Riri is. Yeah, when he says tags, he means the graffiti in the background. So at least we know he was here, and it looks like he left us a secret message in there. But that would probably be the worm's feed tub, and it's empty. Great, we've only been gone a couple minutes in game time, and the king has already got a new pet. Alright, so we can't take his lunch. This place is kinda awkward. There's a bike over on the far side. We certainly want to do something with it, but there's a river of mud between us and the bike, and that skeleton's gonna demonstrate what happens if we try to cross it. Yeah, a bit dangerous for us, but Stucco doesn't have a whole lot of brains. He'll probably be willing to try. Well, I'm sorry for your sacrifice, buddy, but that gets us across. And now we can do some stuff with everything over here on the far side. Choop is not much for sports. There is a machine up above him, but it's not powered until we ride the bike, so we're going to have to climb up to that higher ledge. Our ladder will do the trick, but there's a little problem. Stucco has to hit the lever, and we can't get him to that side because he's our stepping stone. So we need another way to get up. We've seen how we can lift up flat stones using magic, so now all we gotta do, if Père Louis will get a move on, is get him across to cast his magic on the stone. But for whatever reason, every time Stucco sinks in the mud, it chooses Choop automatically. Fortunately, I managed to stop everybody from running away just in the nick of time, so we're all on the correct side. And that slab is now a floating platform. The good news is we don't need to keep using magic on it. This stone will just stay enchanted and continue to lift our characters to the higher ledge. And this handy metal plate forms a way back over to the far side. Granted, I forgot to put the ladder down there. Meanwhile, let's see what cryptic message Riri has left for us in the graffiti. Alright, the Royal Farms, that's where we've got to go. But we'll need to attract a worm first. Yeah, we'll need to activate this gong in order to call a worm. We should just be able to hit it with a stick. But that doesn't work for some reason. I guess I can figure out why. We're supposed to use the clock. I don't really know why we needed to do that, but there we go. We've summoned Vern the Worm. And now we just need to get back to the far side so we can feed him. Alright, that's probably the last time we're going to need to put Stucco in that position. Now we can just set up the ladder on the flat area on the right side and we'll have a complete loop. And on this side, Stucco can punch the lever. So now that allows him to get to the bike. And meanwhile, okay, I guess the worm wasn't willing to wait and do its job. Anyway, I need to time that a bit better. But we need to power up the machine, pull the lever, and dispense the food. Now we just need to call the worm back. Perhaps this time it'll let me hit the gong. Yeah, I don't know why you have to use the clock the first time, but I believe if you attempt to use it a second time, the clock will just break, so you have to use the stick. Or you can just use the food machine before you summon the worm in the first place, and feed the worm before he leaves. So there we go. Worm fed. Now we should be able to get our ticket. Good thing he clarified, because punching is one of the main things that we do in this game. So we just need to take our Ver B ticket and punch it in the ticket punching machine. That's not the ticket punching machine, that's the ticket reading machine. The ticket punching machine is on this side. Yeah, I get the joke, Stucco. Wonderful. So the ticket punching machine is broken. Well, let's get all of our characters back to the near side of the river, because none of them need to be over there anymore. And that will allow us to retrieve the ladder, since we don't need to get up anymore, and we're going to have to take the ladder with us, as always. So let's see about getting this ticket punched. Bite my ticket! He won't bite my ticket. And I can't mess with his sandwich while he's on his way back. I'll have to do this a lot faster. You can't even reach the sandwich until he gets to the far end. Alas, he catches us. And no, we won't be able to hide the ticket in his sandwich because he'll still see us messing with it. We need a better way to distract this guy. That'll do it. And for some reason, getting lifted makes him hungry, and he'll immediately take a bite of his sandwich. Now, our ticket has been punched with authentic mole teeth. And at last, we can punch it in the ticket reading machine and buy our way out of here. Alright, get in. Alas, we can't get to our destination just like that. Of course, our worm has to break down. This is why you don't rely on animals as your main mode of transportation. They discovered this back in the days when everybody rode horses. And now here we are in the middle of an endless sea of mud. So we'll just pick up the one thing we can get to from here, and then hop our way across. I played King's Quest IV, I know how this works. We can't get to that cylindrical piece of metal from here, as it's called, but there is a spot where we can throw something into the mud between us and this other little island, and that makes another step, where there's another plank, which we can use to jump to the next platform. There's nothing we can really do on that little island for now, but over here where the mechanical chameleon is, we've got a bunch of stuff we can pick up. A little wrench, yet another piece of wood, although there's nowhere else to jump to from here. You can get a bucket, and then up on this middle ledge is a tiny seed, barely visible. And no, we're not nearly done. But moving up, there's a button. I don't know why we can't press the button. We can, however, pull the lever on the inside. Which doesn't appear to do anything. So finally, we'll just pick up the last couple of things. Fishing rod up near the top, and hanging out at the base of the tail, there's that little magnet there. So now with our inventory nice and cluttered with almost all the items we're going to need, let's open the hatch and see who lives here. Now we'll have to pry it open with a spoon.
Cool.
Alright, so we need to get to Cyclops Island, which is clearly the island back there, with a volcano, lettuces, and a monster. I really hope the Cyclops isn't the monster. That looks creepy. But we need further help from the captain.
Cool.
So we need to fetch the parts to repair all the different parts, and a wrench. Fortunately, we've already got the wrench.
Cool.
So once we actually fetch the parts, he'll be able to fix the chameleon. So to do that, we just need to use the fishing rod to grab them from afar. I don't know what that was about. I don't think that carrot actually managed to get any of our stuff. It might have made sense if it had, say, eaten the fishing rod as soon as we were done reeling in the part, but it doesn't. We're still going to need that rod to get the other parts.
Cool.
Yeah, so I didn't show the harpoon being broken, but it wasn't capable of grabbing anything, and now it will be. So let's just go and get the other visible part. Then we'll have to search for the part that we can't see just yet. Don't you love it when two different puzzles have exactly the same solution?
Cool.
Alright, so the chameleon's head will now rotate. So, I suppose maybe I ought to give that a try. But we're still missing a part, and I have no idea where it is. Alright, so the tail part, which is the one we really needed all this time, has been eaten by a carrot. And we're going to have to go carrot fishing. That's what the mechanical chameleon is going to do for us. So we can turn the head so that it faces any one of those 3 planks over on the left side. And in order to work the harpoon, we're going to need stucco to press the button. I really don't know why. And he's dead. Yeah, for whatever reason, he can't climb out of this one himself. He does at least form a step, just like he did in the previous room, but that's really not going to help us. We kinda need him to be on his feet here. So we'll just fish him out with the same fishing rod. And we'll replace the plank with this other piece of wood that we got. I don't even know why that's a puzzle. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but anyway. There's the harpoon. We'll need to use it to catch a carrot. So let's just go ahead and get everybody into position here. We're going to need to plant this seed in the soft earth over on the right side of this island. Yep, it's finally got a use. There we go. Have to figure out which pixel has the seed. And we grow a flower that, of course, only stucco can climb. It's nice having a level where Choop can do almost all the work, but it's also nice to have a situation where all the characters have to work together. And now we have a bush of peas. I'm pretty sure that's not how peas grow, but goblins. So we just need to catch the peas in a bucket. And now we've got a bucket of peas. None of this makes sense, by the way. I don't want anybody to think that I'm skipping over some logical steps here. This is just how the puzzle works. In order to catch carrots, we need to use peas as bait. So let's get on with it. This is the worst part of the puzzle, which is possibly the worst puzzle in the game. The only way to make a carrot appear is to put all 3 peas down, even though you can only catch one of the carrots at a time. It would be a lot simpler if you could just put down 1 pea on the plank where the chameleon's head is pointing. Because I don't think you've got time to get back up to the lever and turn the head to point to another plank. So now all 3 carrots are going to pop up and eat the peas, sit there for a couple seconds, and then disappear. We have to levitate the carrot into range of the harpoon, and then snag it. And finally, we have a carrot. But is it the right carrot? Did it swallow the part we're looking for? Of course not. So we have to spit it back into the mud and catch another one. Which means placing 3 more peas. You have to do this a minimum of 3 times. Wait a second. I just noticed the harpoon is facing the wrong way. We can fix this. I just have to make sure that it's facing the center. I hope it's facing the center. Okay, good. I didn't waste an entire cycle. I'm still pretty sure you can't possibly catch 2 different carrots in one run. Yeah, the part we're looking for will never be in one of the first 2 carrots that we catch. So this time I'm going to point the harpoon in the right direction before putting down the peas. Because there's something that I haven't told you about this puzzle, which makes it even worse than it immediately appears. So let's get Perlui in position to catch the final carrot, and set out the 3 peas once again. I don't know why the characters are suddenly getting stuck on stuff as they try to run around. Normally they're a lot better at pathfinding, but it seems like Choop is constantly running into an invisible wall when he tries to start, and getting stuck there for a few seconds. Not that that's really worth talking about, but what else are you going to say when you're solving exactly the same puzzle 3 different times? Alright, time to get ready to catch that final carrot. Okay, this one had better have the part, because there are no more carrots to catch. Alright, finally. But you might notice, we still don't have the gold tooth. And our bucket is empty. You only get 9 peas from punching the bush 1 time. That's the 9 that you need to get the part, but if you want to get the gold tooth, you're going to have to go back and get more peas. Again, there is no additional challenge or puzzle-solving skill required to do this. It's just busy work. The game is just punishing you either for not coming up with the right solution quickly enough, or because you can't do this with just 9 peas. At the very least, we don't need Père Louis to be in there. We just need Stucco for this one. We don't want to levitate the carrots, we just want to punch the heck out of them. And yes, this is going to be very cathartic after all the problems they've caused for us. So it's kind of like playing whack-a-mole, only moles haven't been nearly as annoying as carrots have been in this game. There we go, I managed to get 2 of them in one try, and there's the gold tooth. So honestly, we're done here, but I've got the extra peas. I might as well see what happens if you punch that foremost carrot. Besides, we haven't punched nearly enough carrots yet. We'll get out of the way so we can see this glorious animation. Okay, not remotely worth it, but we have everything that we need to get out of here, so let's just do it.
Cool.
And there you have it. The tail forms the bridge to Cyclops Island. We've got the gold tooth. We're ready to move on. You better appreciate this, Vern. We're doing all this for you. And also so we can get to that farm. And that's right, next time we'll be dealing with the Great Saladini. And who is the Great Saladini, I hear you ask? Or I would if this were a form of two-way communication. Well, you can see a bit of his head sticking up in the middle of the screen there. And a sign warning us he is definitely not to be trifled with. But we're going to trifle with him in the next episode. See you then!